Hello everyone, it's Cassie and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is my November TBR. It feels so great to be filming again and to say those words. I have missed filming, I've missed reading, missed it all. If you don't know, I was on a trip in Europe for about 6 weeks, so I haven't been making videos and I barely read on my trip. So I'm really excited to get back into the swing of things. I got home a couple days ago and I'm still slowly getting back into real life. Sorry about my appearance, it's late, but this is the first chance I've had to film this video and it's already the second, so I'd like to get this video up ASAP. Sorry about the appearance of my bookshelf. I am actually moving currently, so I had to take all the books off my bookshelf today. Let's get into my November TBR. I am super excited to be playing my game again. I missed it so much, so let's just get right into it. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe and give it a big thumbs up. Both those would mean the absolute world to me. My Instagram, Twitter, Goodreads, and Amazon wishlist will be linked in the description box below if you're interested in checking any of those out. And let's get right into the TBR. If you've never seen my TBR game before, basically I roll 2 die, and on a board we have 6 across and 6 down, and first roll goes for what we pick across, second roll is down. Whatever they meet at is the prompt we use for that roll. Pretty simple, pretty easy, so let's get into the first roll of November. The board is in a little bit of a rough shape here, being bent up, all this, so just ignore that. I might have to make a new one for the new year, but we are going to push through with this board, so ignore the chaoticness of it. First roll, we've got a 3. The second roll, we've got a 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 2-word title. Next we'll pick a prompt to replace that bookish book. So I got the prompt 2-word title, so I decided to go with November 9 by Colleen Hoover. I just realized that 9 technically on here is not a word, but we are going to count it because 9 is a word, so we're counting it. But I thought, what better time to read November 9 than in November? So I'm going to try and read this on November 9th, but I have no idea what I'm going to be even doing in a week, so we will see. But I'm going to read it in November, and I think that's perfect time to read it. I have thought about reading it in November for months, so I'm glad I was able to actually get it onto my TBR. I don't super know what this is about, but what I do know is there's 2 individuals, and they're brought together for some reason, I'm not sure the reason, on a November 9th, and after that they decide to meet up on every November 9th after that. And then I think feelings probably start to blossom and all that, and all the drama and all the Colleen Hooverness, you know what I mean, will ensue. So I'm really excited about it. It's a short little romance. I know lots of people really enjoy this one from her, so I hope I join that club. Now time for the second roll of my November TBR. Book number 2 for November. First roll we've got a 1, and second roll we've got a 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. Contemporary is our second prompt. Replace that with most recent purchase. Next I got the prompt contemporary, and no contemporaries were super on my radar. I have quite a few that I want to read, but they're lower on my priority list. But this is one that I've wanted to read for a while, and I'm pretty sure it's on my list of 22 to read in 2022, which I haven't paid attention to too much throughout this year, but I'd like to try and probably not complete, but try and get a big chunk of that done. So I'm going to be reading Made in Korea by Sarah Suk. I am super excited about this one. It's kind of a Shark Tank-esque. There's Valerie and there's Wes, and they're both competing at their school with their beauty products. They are trying to outsell each other, they're each other's competition at their school, and they want to be the best business in their school, each of them, so they're fighting against each other for that. but romance and feelings become apparent, so that becomes an issue in itself because they're supposed to be rivals. So I'm really excited about this one. I love the cover and I've wanted to read this for quite a while, so I hope I enjoy it, and I think I will, and I think it'll be a quite easy read, getting myself back into reading this month. Now let's get into the third prompt. Roll number 3 for the month. We've got a 4 and a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-star prediction. Replace that with booktuber favorite. The next set of rolls, I got the prompt 5-star prediction, and I have been meaning to make a 5-star prediction video for quite a while, and that has not happened, but that will happen at the end of this year, beginning of next year, I swear. In the next couple of months, it will happen. Normally, I would pick something from that video, but we're just gonna pick one that I know in my brain is a 5-star prediction, and that is It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. So we're gonna have 2 Colleen Hoover books on this TBR, but I am not mad. In September, right before I left for my trip, I read It Ends With Us, and I quite enjoyed it. It's not like my favorite book ever, but I think I gave it 5 stars still. I saw the flaws, but I still enjoyed it, and I thought it was a really good and interesting book, so I'm super excited for this one. I just have really high expectations for it. The thing is, I actually have not heard anyone talk about it at all, what their thoughts are on the new book, but that's just because I haven't been able to consume as much booktube content as I used to be doing before I went on my trip, and I'm trying to get caught up on all of that. So I haven't heard too much about it, but hopefully people are enjoying it. I don't know. It Ends With Us is a very complicated romance. We follow this couple through their ups and downs, but also the main female, Lily, her past relationship type of thing, how that plays a part in her current relationship, and the ups and downs of all of that. Kind of a bad synopsis, but you probably know what it's about. It Starts With Us follows after the ending of It Ends With Us. So I'm very excited to read that. Hopefully I enjoy it. Now let's get into the 4th set of rolls. For the 4th book, we've got a 6 and a 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Hyped book. Replace that with Ask a Friend. For the next roll, I got the prompt Hyped book, and for that I picked The Hawthorne Legacy by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the 2nd book in the Inheritance Games trilogy. While this book in itself isn't super hyped, the trilogy and the 1st book are super hyped, so that is why I'm using this one for this prompt. I read the Inheritance Games probably around this time last year, and I really enjoyed it, and I was supposed to possibly read this in September, I think. Didn't get to it, and that's fine. So here we are reading it in November, and I'm really excited about it. This series is about Avery Grahams. She's just a regular girl until one day she is given the inheritance of this random man that she has no connection to. She's never met him, nothing like that, and she inherits his millions, I don't know, lots of money, lots of houses, lots of stuff, lots of everything, and his family is very upset about it, and they are convinced she's a con woman, and there's some other reason for her getting this money. She doesn't know why she has the money. She doesn't really want the money, but there's a catch. The man that gave her all this money made puzzles, made games, was known for that stuff, so they are trying to figure out the puzzle of why she got this money. The Hawthorne Legacy just follows where the 1st one left off. There's a bit of a romance in here. The 1st one, it was there, but not really, and I think it gets explored more in this book. So I'm very excited for this one. Now let's go on to the final rolls. At first I thought I was only gonna do 4 rolls, but I miss playing this game, so we're gonna do 5 just for the fun of it. So our 5th and final rolls, I've got a 6 and a 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. And that got us fantasy. Replace that with face on the cover. For my final roll, I got the prompt fantasy, and this is perfect to finish the books that I'm currently reading on Goodreads, and the only one that I have been reading for quite a while on Goodreads. I can't even remember when I started this book. Goodreads says I started this in April, and honestly I believe it. So that is the European Travel of the Monstrous Gentlewoman by Theodore Goss. This is the 2nd book in the Athena Club series trilogy. I forget what it's called. I started reading this in April. It was Mel Reed's Patreon secondary book club buddy read thing for, I think it was March, April, and May, but I could be wrong. I read the first one, really enjoyed it, super good. Started reading this one, really enjoyed it, but April was when things started, April was when things started getting crappy and life was just a lot, so I wasn't reading very much. So this book got put on the back burner and I just haven't picked it up since. I haven't been reading as much as I would like to this year, so this is just a victim of that. So I got to page 160 and it is a chunker, but I do listen to this one on audio as well. I just think it makes the book a lot more enjoyable. So if you're interested in any of these books, definitely check them out on audio as well. It's like a love letter to Gothic literature. We have the daughters of a bunch of different characters from things like Frankenstein, Dr. Jekyll, and Mr. Hyde. I can't remember the rest, but a lot of books like that, the real daughters or the experiments, which are kind of like the daughters of these people from these classics. And they are put together in order to solve this mystery. Each of them kind of gets picked up along the way, and it ends up in them growing a really good bond and kind of like a sisterhood, and it's super fun. We also have Sherlock Holmes and Watson in this as well. I think the first one was about, there was people showing up murdered, but there was also something to do with Hyde because he had disappeared after Dr. Jekyll had died. So there was multiple mysteries going on in the first book, and this second one just continues on with that, but it has its own mysteries as well. I've heard this one's good, but that it could be split into 2 because I believe there's like a second part in here, and I think people just believe it could have been split up into 2 books at a point. So we will see how I feel, and I'm hoping, really hoping that I do finish this month so I can take it off of my currently reading. I don't think I described that book very well, but my brain is scattered, so I'm sorry. Sorry if you hear my cat or see my cat. She just came into my room, so we're just gonna have to listen to that. But this is my TBR plus It Starts With Us for November. So it is a bit of a chunky one just because of this one, but I think it's very doable. We will see. I'm not gonna punish myself in December if I don't finish this because, like I had mentioned, I haven't been reading a lot. So this is getting myself back into it, as well as I am moving, getting a new job, doing school, all of this at once. So I don't want to put too much pressure on myself. Hopefully I do have a pretty successful reading month, and I hope you guys do as well. I think this video is long enough. I'm gonna close it out here. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe and give it a big thumbs up. Both of those would mean the absolute world to me. Let me know what you're going to be reading in November. I am trying to catch up on videos and watch everyone's TBRs and stuff, but that takes a lot of time. So let me know in the comments what you're reading. If you've read any of the books that I'm going to be reading in November, let me know what you thought of them, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!